Welcome in for Sunbelt Conference football on ESPN Plus. Where today from Centennial Bank Stadium in Jonesboro, Arkansas, it's the A-State Red Wolves playing host to the Mountaineers of Appalachian State. It's homecoming day in Jonesboro. Glad to have you along with us. Brad Bobo, Pete Cordelli, in a matchup, Pete, of teams that have combined for 9 Sunbelt titles. A lot of tradition in both of these programs. However, when you look at the rosters and the records, right now it's 2 teams in 2 different spots.
Exactly, Brad. Both programs know how to win. Sean Clark, former player at Appalachian State, comes back and takes over, and he has built his team on continuity. They only have 2 transfers on offense. You know, a lot of teams are going to the transfer portal, not Sean Clark and Appalachian State. Chase Bryce, their quarterback, started at Clemson, got beat out by Trevor Lawrence. He went to Duke. Now he is the starting quarterback for App State. The other guy is Corey Sutton, transferred from Kansas State, excellent wide receiver. But when you look at this App State football program, they have 9 seniors starting on defense, 2 juniors. That's experience.
Yeah.
You have 7 seniors, 3 juniors, and 1 sophomore on offense. That's experience, and both kickers are seniors. So this is an experienced team. Arkansas State, with Coach Jones, they've got to find a way to develop continuity. After bringing 52 new players in here to start the program, they're really spending a lot of time on recruiting to get back to their winning ways here in Jonesboro.
One of the newcomers that has made an impact for Butch Jones this first season is Alan Lamar on special teams, with more on the former Ivy Leaguer. Here's the 3rd member of our team today, Corey Keller.
Alan Lamar, like you said, Brad, is the 2-time Sunbelt Conference Special Teams Player of the Week. He comes to Arkansas State from Yale, where he obtained his undergraduate degree, one of the many transfers on Arkansas State's roster this year. His 2nd Player of the Week award came after he set an Arkansas State record of 232 returning yards. What an outstanding accomplishment, but when I got to speak to him yesterday, he said, I was very excited about the awards and breaking that record, but more importantly, I'm just thankful for my teammates. He even made his teammates brownies to thank them for their endeavors. When we come back, we'll have kickoff here in Centennial Bank Stadium.
Welcome back to Jonesboro, a gorgeous Saturday afternoon here in early November. Tailor-made for homecoming that Arkansas State celebrates today. And A-State, Pete's been good on homecoming, 10 straight wins, 17 out of 18, and tall task to keep that streak going against the Mountaineers here today.
Yeah, Appalachian State comes in with a very balanced offense, a defense that's aggressive and going to attack, going to blitz. And but, you know, the second half at South Alabama last week, Brad, was encouraging for this team to move forward. So one play at a time and see if the Red Wolves, taking the football here, can take this opening drive and go down and get some points on the board.
Michael Hughes will kick it off. 20 touchbacks in his 56 kickoffs on the year, and we are underway, and we'll get an early chance to see Alan Lamar, who we highlighted in the open, the reigning preseason special teams player of the week, tripped up just across the 20-yard line, and that's where Lane Hatcher and the A-State offense will set up to get things underway.
Alan was trying to bounce that thing to the sidelines there, and he just got caught up. If he could have gotten a little bit more, like 2 yards to the outside, that would have been maybe to the house for Mr. Lamar again, like he did in Mobile last week at South Al.
Lane Hatcher comes in, 6,000, right at 300 career passing yards at Arkansas State as he sets up shop 1st and 10 at about the 22. Hatcher gets that one complete to the freshman tight end, Emmanuel Stevenson. As you get a look at the rest of the A-State offense.
Nice job, nice read that time by Lane on the option route to the outside, puts him at 2nd and 5.
A gain of 5 for Stevenson. As Johnny Ling Jr., the Iowa State transfer, in the backfield, takes the handoff from Hatcher, dances around, spun down at about the 30-yard line. He was brought down by DeMarco Jackson, the preseason All-Sunbelt linebacker for App, with his team-leading 76 tackle on the year.
Jacob Still, the starting center for Arkansas State, 50th start today in his career.
You didn't mention, we talked about the experience for A-State and really lack of it, but up front, this group had combined for 144 career starts, led by Stills 50. Hatcher complete to DeValence Hunt. He's knocked down out across the 40 to about the 43. That's a gain of 13 before Stephen Jones Jr. brings him down.
Nice call by Coach Heckendorf there. 3rd and 2. App State expecting run. Double slant out of the wide receivers to the right side. Lane Hatcher puts the ball right on the money. First down, A-State moving the chains.
For Hunt, that's his 38th catch of the season as he came in from TCU. A-State does have a first down out at about the 43-yard line as Hatcher drops back, looking deep, and he overthrows. That's Seydou Traore, the other freshman tight end for Arkansas State, overthrown on first down. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Traore was in the slot on the left. He runs a corner route, drives up 12 yards, and then breaks to the sideline. Lane had him wide open, just a little bit too long on the throw.
Brings up 2nd and 10 for Arkansas State, opening possession of the game at its own 43-yard line. Maybe some pressure coming from the Mountaineers as they walk extra guys up to the line. And that pass batted down. Good defensive play there by T.D. Roof.
T.D. Roof comes with pressure off the right edge of the Arkansas State offense, gets his right hand up, times it perfectly with his jump, knocks the ball down. Let me tell you about T.D. Roof. His dad, Ted Roof, is a 30-year veteran college coach, and he's in the stands today. He is a defensive analyst at Clemson right now.
So 3rd and 10 for Arkansas State, trying to keep the drive alive. Hatcher has to dance around now. Just throws that one incomplete. Good coverage by the Mountaineer defense, and after picking up a first down, the Red Wolves now look at 4th and 10.
This is where Appalachian State dials up the pressure. 2nd and long, 3rd and long, and the coverage was excellent. Hatcher 2 of 5 on that drive, but Arkansas State will have to punt it away.
Ryan Hansen will punt it away to Thomas Hennigan, who's standing at about his own 17-yard line. Hansen averages 43.5 yards per punt this season. Gets this one away, angled toward the sidelines. That'll hit out of bounds, and that'll be marked at the 21. Actually, they'll back it up now to the 20, so about a 37-yard punt. And we get a look at this experienced App State offense. You mentioned not a lot of transfers. One of them, though, is the quarterback, Chase Bryce, and he hasn't played like a newcomer for the Mountaineers this season.
Not at all, and the offensive line has done a great job of protecting Chase. They've only given up 7 total sacks in 8 football games and kept the 6'3", 235-pounder upright.
Little play action on first down. Bryce looking deep across the middle, and that pass broken up as that was Leon Jones who defended that pass to bring up 2nd and 10.
App State trying to run a post. Hit a big play on first down, but Jones does a great job right at the end of the route of getting his hand in there, knocking the ball away. Excellent coverage.
Said Jones, that was actually Kenneth Harris, who's got a pick in each of the last 2 games. He defends the first down pass when App State was trying to hit the Red Wolves deep on the first play from scrimmage. Now on 2nd down, the handoff goes to Nate Noel, and the Arkansas State defense stacks him up near the line of scrimmage.
Very aggressive start for the A-State defense. Both corners coming up and playing press coverage. The defensive line getting off blocks as App State tries to run the outside zone to the left. Half-yard gain there, brings up 3rd and 9.
You see JoJo Azugu, his 33rd tackle, and it's 3rd and 9 for App State on its first possession on offense. Bryce with time, complete just out across the chains. Malik Williams hauls in his 41st catch, and the Mountaineers move the chains on 3rd and long.
Ball's on the left hash. They have 2 receivers into the boundary there, and they throw a quick curl at 12 yards deep. All the receiver does is get 2 to 2.5 yards above the sticks and what he needs for the first, and Bryce puts it right on his numbers, first down.
So big play early for App State, but on first down, this is going to be a tackle near the line of scrimmage by John Mincy, the Tennessee transfer. He dropped Noel for about a yard gain.
App State trying to run the inside zone to their right. The A-State defense left, but Mincy gets great penetration and holds that to a 1 yard gain.
Nate Noel, 17 carries, 137 yards, and a touchdown last week as the Mountaineers blasted ULM and Boone. Here it's 2nd and 9. Play action for Bryce, slipped momentarily, but then gets back and fires a strike to Corey Sutton in A-State territory. Spun out of bounds at about the 44-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 21 and a first down.
Yeah, Hennigan was the inside receiver to the left that time for App State. Sutton was the outside receiver. Hennigan runs a post and clears it out. Sutton sits down and runs a comeback, threatening the deep route. Bryce puts it on him. First down, App State.
So the Mountaineers have moved the chains twice. They set up in A-State territory at the 44-yard line. Here's Noel with room to his left. Finally shoved out of bounds by Sammy Johnson. Johnson back in the lineup today for A-State after a scary-looking injury early in the second half here in October against Coastal Carolina. Johnson had missed the last 2 games. So I know Butch Jones and the Red Wolves glad to have Johnson back in the backfield today.
For sure. App State lining up in a power formation. They have back on each side of the quarterback, tailback, and they just run it on a power play off the left side for a gain of 7.
Brings up 2nd and 3. Here's Noel again, bouncing off one tackle, but there to finish it up is Jaden Harris. And that'll bring up a 3rd down for the Mountaineers. Just about 5 minutes in. Matter of fact, that one goes for about a 3-yard loss.
Looks like Sammy Johnson comes off the corner on a corner blitz that time and makes the first contact in the backfield. So A-State a little aggressive here, bringing the corner blitz to create a lost yardage play.
Mountaineers have already converted on a 3rd and 9 on this drive. This is 3rd and 6 from the A-State 40. And what could possibly be 4-down territory anyway. Noel gets the handoff. Breaks the tackle, but is stopped short of the first down by E.J. Alexander. And it'll be a 4th down coming up at a decision for the App State offense.
App State trying to run the receiver from the left side across the formation, move the eyes of the A-State defense, but that time, excellent fill by the safety to hold that to a 2-yard gain. And like you said, Brad, it is 4-down territory for the Mountaineers.
Mike Evans, who actually is going to get the start at tight end today, comes in on what will be a 4th down and about 2 from the A-State 36-yard line. Evans in motion now, sets up at the right side of the line. Noel takes the handoff, hit near the line of scrimmage, but looks like he got enough for the first down, or hit near the chains, but looks like Nate Noel has indeed picked up the first down.
Excellent pursuit by the A-State defense that time, but it was the second effort of Noel as he falls forward to just get the first down and keep the drive alive for App State.
This is an A-State defense that had been sort of much maligned statistically, at times the worst in the country, as a matter of fact. They gave up only 72 yards and 3 points in the second half last week at South Alabama. Here comes a little
double
trickery
pass
for the Mountaineers, and all alone for the touchdown is Thomas Hennigan, as App State used that defensive aggression against the Red Wolves there.
They have 3 receivers to the right. App State does. They throw the bubble screen. The safety comes down hard. The corner is sitting there, going to come up and play run, and the outside receiver, Hennigan, runs by him. That was a nice throw by the flanker for the touchdown. Little trickery, like you said, Brad, for the first score for App State today.
So Thomas Hennigan making his FBS record 60th start today. Gets on the board early with a touchdown. The Mountaineers go 80 yards to grab an early lead on the road.
I came across this house with water dripping from the ceiling.
Butch Jones in his first season at Arkansas. Jones, of course, previously at Central Michigan, Cincinnati, and Tennessee. Had spent the previous 3 years on Nick Saban's staff at Alabama. And Sean Clark, in his second full year as the head coach at his alma mater, his .762 win percentage coming in the best among all active FBS head coaches. Malik Williams on the touchdown pass to Thomas Hennigan capped off a 10-play, 79-yard drive and put the Mountaineers on top as Lamar gets another chance. Tried to bounce off a tackle as he's out across the 20, and that's where the Red Wolves offense will set up.
On that touchdown pass from Appalachian State, obviously they take advantage of a very aggressive secondary for A-State, trying to come up and take the bubble screen away, but the throw was very well executed, and the play call was tremendous.
Yeah, great call.
Yes.
Great execution by that App State offense. They had to convert on a 3rd and a 4th down in that drive, but cash it in with the touchdown. Now on 1st and 10 for A-State, Hatcher looking to his right and dumps it out of bounds over the head of Tavalance Hunt.
App State bringing some field pressure that time with the ball on the right hash. Appalachian State slanted their line left and brought 3 guys from the field trying to get to Hatcher. He got that ball off just in time to avoid the sack.
But it's really what Lane Hatcher brings to the table for Arkansas State, just the ability to read a defense and get you in the right play and sometimes get you out of a play, as the case is there.
Very smart player.
On 2nd and 10, Hatcher pulls it back from Johnny Lang and finds Hunt. Picks up a block out across the 30-yard line. It's going to be a gain of about 8 as Caden Smith came up to make the stop, and the Red Wolves have a 3rd and short.
Run pass option that time by A-State as they fake the run to the right. The 2 receivers on the left, the corners are playing with depth. Hatcher reads it and throws the ball perfectly for an 8-yard gain. Nice read by Lane.
So makes it a very manageable 3rd down attempt here for Arkansas State as Hatcher is picked off on the interception. Here comes Stephen Jones Jr., and he is going to go into the end zone. 2nd consecutive game for Stephen Jones to get a pick 6. It was a 14-yarder last week against ULM. But Stephen Jones Jr., another pick 6. And the Mountaineers have scored 2 touchdowns in very short order, Coach.
Lane Hatcher trying to throw the in route at 14 yards that time to the right side, and the ball sails. It just takes off out of his hand. He overthrows the receiver, and the corner for App State sees it and makes a great play, taking it back to the end zone. Wow.
Officially a 47-yard interception return for the score by Jones, and the Mountaineers tack on the extra point. And just like that, A-State finds itself in a 2-score hole on homecoming day.
If you have a typical airline credit card, you're not getting double miles on every purchase.
The App State defense gives the Mountaineers a 14-0 lead. We mentioned homecoming in Jonesboro. That brings all kind of alumni back to campus. Sometimes it even brings Miss America back. With more on that, here's Corey Keller.
Thanks, Brad. I am joined with Dr. Debbie Turner Bell, a former Miss Arkansas State University and Miss America 1990. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm just so happy to be back in Jonesboro and to be at A-State, my alma mater. This has just been a really wonderful weekend.
Another reason you're back in town is the A-State ROTC Armory was named after your father, former Lieutenant Colonel Frederick Cornelius Turner Jr. What does that mean for you and your family?
You know, I almost don't have the words, and I'm pretty talkative, so that says something, but we're so extraordinarily proud of him. It is an honor that we've always known about, and we're just thrilled that he was recognized for it in his lifetime, that he was here to see it. And so we're just so proud of my dad. He's a trailblazer, but he's an humble man. He would never make a big deal about it. So I'm happy some other people are making a big deal about it.
Well, congratulations for all of your accomplishments. That was Miss America 1990, a former Miss Arkansas State University, Debbie Turner Bell.
Thank you.
Wow.
Corey.
What a great honor.
Yeah, absolutely. Arkansas State off the Allen Lamar return will set up at the 21-yard line as it is a first down handoff to Johnny Lang Jr. He is brought down by Tommy Dawkins Jr. of the Mountaineers after a gain of about 2.
App State's defensive line starting with more movements, more slants and angles, trying to create penetration.
On 2nd down and 8, Hatcher found Jack Combs coming across. He's upended by Milan Tucker, but not before picking up about 5. It's going to be 3rd down and 3 for Arkansas State.
Combs coming across formation right to left that time on a 6-yard drag route. Hatcher steps up, delivers the football. 3rd and manageable now. Red Wolves need to convert.
Absolutely. It was on 3rd down. A-State threw the pick 6 just a moment ago. This time Hatcher pump fakes, now throws down the middle, and he finds Adam Jones for the first down. Jones, the son of A-State head coach Butch Jones, moves the chains for Arkansas State.
Great read by Lane Hatcher. He looked to the right side, went through his first 2 reads, came back to the left side, found Jones. Nice throw and catch.
17 yards on the pickup. Now on 1st down into App State territory, it's Johnny Lang out across the 40 to the 39. He picks up 16 yards before Ryan Huff brought him down.
Yeah, inside zone play to the left between Ethan Miner and Jacob Still. Well blocked by those 2 guys up front. Nice run by Lang.
So A-State in Mountaineer territory for the first time today on 1st down. Lang will try it again to his right. Broke 1 tackle. Now cuts back inside. A late flag on the play. It'll be the first of the day.
Lang starting on the left side, coming across the formation, bounces it out. I don't know if it's going to be a block in the back or a hold, but like you said, Brad, the flag came in late. Lang ran the ball very well there.
David Smith, our referee today, will tell us what the game's first flag is all about.
Personal foul, blindside block, number 84 on the offense. 15-yard penalty, replay, 1st down.
So Jack Combs, the guilty party, and that moves A-State almost back to the 49, just past the 48-yard line of App.
Combs comes from outside in, and instead of getting his head across, he makes contact shoulder to shoulder. The referee saw it. If he gets his head across, that's a good block. Tough call right there.
So A-State needing to get now to the 29-yard line for a 1st down. So it's 1st and 19, and Hatcher, with the pressure coming, just had to throw it at the feet of Lincoln Perry.
Trying to run a screen to the left. Hatcher drops back, looks right, gives off ground, drawing the defenders to him. But as Perry starts from the right and goes left, 2 of the App State defenders start running with him. Good decision by Lane Hatcher.
It's been something that has plagued Arkansas State at times offensively, to get a good drive going, get into plus territory, and then get behind the chains with a penalty, and that's certainly the case here after the personal foul. Now a little jet sweep on 2nd down. That is Jack Combs who took that jet sweep, and he gets a chunk of that yardage back.
Combs gets a great block on the perimeter that time, as the A-State receiver in the slot on the left goes down and gets 2 Appalachian State guys. He knocked one into the other, allowing Combs to get around the corner. So
a gain of 8 brings up 3rd and 11, and boy, App State was there and waiting for that pass. Reagan Ely hauled it in, but as soon as he did, there were 2 white jerseys to bring him down, and the Red Wolves will face a 4th and 12.
Tunnel screen, outside receiver starting on the right, coming inside, but like you said, Brad, both the outside linebacker, inside linebacker for App State read it perfectly. They were downhill in a hurry and make a big hit.
So Ryan Hansen in to punt for the 2nd time today. Thomas Hennigan already with a touchdown catch. Shaden, the son here, as he calls for a fair catch and makes it at about the 8-yard line. So that is where App State will take over when we come back. Just inside 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Mountaineers leading by 14. Mountaineers back on offense, trying to build on a 14-point lead, and this just the 5th matchup between these two teams since the Mountaineers came up to FBS and into the Sun Belt. And Pete?
Appalachian State joined the FBS in 2014. They're 5th in the country in road wins at 29 since then.
In fact, this series has been a road team series. The home team's only won once in the first 4 matchups, as that pass on first down batted down by Kavon Bennett. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
Great read by Bennett that time. Bryce looking to his right, trying to throw the quick slant. Bennett gets both hands up, knocks the ball back. Bennett is having one heck of a year for the Red Wolves.
13 tackles for a loss. Of course, that wasn't one, but the 13 tackles for a loss Bennett has is tied for 2nd most in the country so far this season. Well, look at the pile being
it's a scrum.
Moved
it's like
here.
rugby.
It does look like a scrum, as it kept going all the way out to near the 14-yard line as Cameron Peoples was dragging defenders with him, and he made this 3rd down a little more manageable on the 2nd effort.
He did. He got about 3 extra yards there with all those big guys up front pushing him.
It was the running of the Bulls, as they call that offensive line in Boone. And the Bulls and Cameron Peoples bulled their way up to bring now a 3rd down and 4. Bryce in trouble, and he goes down as that's JoJo Azugu with the sack. For Azugu, that's his 5.5 sack on the year, top 10 in the league, and it'll be 4th down.
Great pressure by JoJo coming from the left side. He starts upfield on the left tackle and then swims underneath and hits Bryce from behind. Bryce never saw him, but a great up and under move by JoJo that time to get the sack. Big play.
So we get a look at Xavier Sabach punting for the 28th time this year. Johnny Lang Jr. calls for and makes the fair catch at the A-State 45-yard line. So good 3 and out there by the Arkansas State defense. Pete, we saw Bennett on 1st down, Azugu on 3rd down. And those two have made quite a force at the defensive end spots for A-State.
And now they flip the field by forcing App State to punt from their own end zone. Now the A-State offense has a short field to work with. This is an important drive to get some points.
Between Bennett and Azugu, the 2 defensive ends, they now have combined for 23 tackles for a loss and 11.5 sacks for A-State. On 1st down, looking for the corner. This is Alan Lamar, knocked out of bounds up across the 45 near the 47. So a gain of about 2 before Demetrius Taylor finished him off.
Yeah, Lamar trying to bounce it between the left guard and left tackle, but the App State defense keeps pushing him sideways. He gets around the corner for a gain of 2.
So near the 2-minute mark. It'll be 2nd and 8 for Hatcher and the Red Wolves. Lane is going to be brought down, and we'll see if this ends up being a grounding call or not.
It's a lateral.
Lateral.
He threw the ball as he was going down. He threw the ball behind him. That's why the officials didn't blow the whistle. And huge loss right there. Rather than taking the sack, Lane Hatcher is being spun, throws the ball, and it goes about 3 yards behind him. Thank goodness it went out of bounds.
So big play there as he was wrapped up by DeMarco Jackson. Now it's 3rd down and 25. Just a little safe handoff play to Lincoln Perry, who is going to get a lot of that yardage back and maybe some more with a flag at the end.
Looks like a face mask at the end, but good run by Perry. Outside zone to the left. He bounces it around the corner, gets upfield.
Personal foul, face mask, number 99 on the defense. 15-yard penalty will be added. 1st down.
And you know that's going to drive defensive coordinator Dale Jones crazy, because the penalty just moved the chains on 3rd and 25.
What a way to overcome that huge loss, but got to tell you, Ethan Miner did a great job of coming around and getting up in the hole on the left side.
Perry again finds the hole and is out across the 25-yard line down to the 23, a gain of 16 for Lincoln Perry. Trey Cobb there with the tackle.
All this guy does is keep going forward. His eyes are up. He's got great body lean, and his feet accelerate on contact, and he rolls forward for 3 more extra yards. Big run by Lincoln Perry.
A-State just outside the red zone as Perry is going to be brought down by the ankle and loses a shoe in the process as DeMarco Jackson makes another play.
This is where App State on defense turns it up, especially with Jackson. But one thing you notice, Jackson's keying on the back to the quarterback. So if the back releases and doesn't get the football, he becomes the spy player for the quarterback if Lane Hatcher tries to keep it and run.
You saw it to Phelan's Hunt. He's the receiver up top as you look at A-State on 2nd down and 10. Hatcher looking that way, lets it go in a crowd. He was looking for Johnny Lang out of the backfield. It's incomplete, and it'll be 3rd down.
Lang runs a seam route between the right tackle and the right guard, and Jackson picks him up and runs with him. But right at the end, the safety will come over top, sees the ball, number 4 for App State, and then Jackson does a nice job of knocking the ball away.
So safety help there from Nick Ross. And it'll be 3rd down in the final 10 seconds here in the first quarter. A-State looking at a 3rd and 10 from the Mountaineer 23. Hatcher moves to his left, buys a little time, and there's going to be a flag as they had the receiver wrapped up. Madison Cone with the coverage, but he had a lot of contact before the ball got there.
Yeah, Lane starts to look to his left, slide out of the pocket to the left, but keeps his eyes downfield.
Pass interference on the defense, number 12. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic 1st down.
2 big plays have kept this drive alive.
Cone, the grad transfer coach out of Wisconsin, starting for the 2nd straight game in the place of Sean Jolly, missing again today with the foot injury. So what'll be the final play of the first quarter will be 1st and goal, A-State from about the 8-yard line. Perry shifted down beside Hatcher, who is going to roll to his right and throw to his left to Emmanuel Stevenson, and he'll pick up maybe 3 to the 5, mark him down at the 6, and that'll be how the first quarter comes to an end. 2nd and goal for the Red Wolves, trying to get on the board for the first time today when the second quarter comes your way right after this. But A-State trying to get back in it as we get the second quarter underway, and you get a look at the new look Sun Belt that changed again even today, Coach, as James Madison becomes officially the 14th football playing member of the league, along with the new additions Marshall, Old Dominion, and Southern Miss. 2nd and goal for A-State to get the second quarter underway. Lincoln Perry tried to bounce outside. Good pursuit by that Mountaineer defense, and it'll be 3rd and goal.
That's the speed that Sean Clark talked about. They've really started to evaluate players more on speed and quickness because they feel like they can develop them in their weight room and in their program. That comes up big for them right there.
Nick Hampton came diving in and started the process of slowing Perry down, and got help to get him down and bring up 3rd and goal now from the 7. Lang in the backfield with Hatcher, who drops back looking for Emmanuel Stevenson all alone, and the freshman has his 2nd touchdown catch of the year.
Great play call that time by Keith Heckendorf. The outside receiver runs a slant inside against man coverage, and the tight end comes up, delays 2 seconds, and then runs a wheel route and loses the linebacker in coverage. Nice throw by Lane Hatcher for the touchdown.
And nice job for Arkansas State to do what it struggled doing recently, get touchdowns in the red zone.
No doubt about it. And that's a great way to answer right there, especially after 3rd and forever.
The penalty, absolutely ends up keeping A-State alive in the drive, and the Red Wolves make it matter as Lane Hatcher's 13th touchdown pass of the year cuts the Mountaineer lead in half.
Welcome to Allstate.
You see Arkansas State capping off a 9-play, 55-yard drive with the touchdown pass to Emmanuel Stevenson. And since the pick six, Coach, the Red Wolves have tossed a 3 and out and now driven the field and gotten back in the game.
They've picked up their intensity and playing a lot better. 2 penalties there by Appalachian State for 30 yards, kept that drive alive. But Arkansas State took advantage of it, got the ball in the end zone, didn't kick the field goal, and got 7. Now they've cut it in half. Great answer.
Be interesting to see now what sort of answer the Mountaineers come up with, as that's going to be a touchback, the 20th of the year for Tristan Matson on kickoffs for A-State, and that'll bring Chase Bryce and that App State offense out to the 25-yard line.
Let's see what new wrinkle the A-State defense has for Bryce in this series, because with Bennett and JoJo making plays in that last series, I'm sure that there will be a different stunt, different blitz coming at Bryce in this one.
Corey Sutton on the bottom of your screen there. He's one-on-one with Kenneth Harris on 1st and 10 from the 25.
Excellent job that time. App State trying to run the outside zone, but A-State slanting that way and getting 2 defenders upfield. Great pursuit. They hold it to a 2-yard gain, 2nd and 8.
Travion Green came in to make the stop and held Noel to a 2-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 8 for Bryce and the Mountaineers. He rolls to his right. Gets it complete out to Jalen Virgil, who kept a knee off the turf and able to pick up a 1st down.
This is App State's answer to pressure. They'll move Bryce now. Quick sprint out to the right. Receiver run, outside receiver runs a hitch. Inside receiver runs a corner. Ball was gone quickly, and then the run after catch allows App State.
They're going to go back and look, and I wonder if
his knee was down.
Yeah, that's going to be the thing. They said the ruling on the field is completion. We'll see if they're going to see whether that hit the turf or whether we talked about Virgil may have had a knee down when he caught it. So, again, our referee, David Smith, will head over for a conversation with our replay official today, Brian Thompson, and we'll figure out whether or not the Mountaineers will have a 1st and 10 when this review comes to a close. We said
he was close. That knee was close to being down. I don't know if it was all the way on the ground and then he got up and ran afterwards. So this is a good review.
You mentioned, hey, we'll see what wrinkle A-State throws at the Mountaineers here defensively.
Knees down.
One thing we know.
Looked like it from here.
You look at all the experience we talked about, that bunch is not getting rattled.
No. No, they've been here before. Yeah. They've played in a few of these
After
games.
further review, the receiver's knee was down at the 32-yard line. Yes. It will be 3rd down at that spot.
Wow. I finally got one right out of about 37. Holy cow.
So the line to gain is going to be right about the 35. You get a great look at the knee down at the 32. So it should be about 3rd and 3 when they get things reset here.
App State 1 of 3 on 3rd downs today. Let's see what kind of pressure Arkansas State will bring.
So from 1st and 10, the review backs it up to 3rd and 3. Mountaineers 1 for 3 so far on 3rd down. They've also converted a 4th down already. So it's getting everybody reset. The chains had already been moved up. So
I think they're trying to get the clock right. They're trying to get the clock back to what it was when he went down on one knee rather than after the catch. After the run, excuse me.
So crank it back up, and here we go, 3rd and 3 for App State. Malik Williams went out wide left. Now the handoff to Noel. And he fought his way forward for a 1st down. Tough run by Nate Noel moves the chains.
Again, App State bringing a receiver right to left across the formation, trying to get eye movement confusion on the A-State defense. They hand it off to Noel. He gets hit at the line of scrimmage, but his second effort gets him to fall forward for the first down.
Needed 3, got 4. New set of downs for Bryce at the Mountaineer 36. Off play action. He's going to take a shot, and looked like the feet got caught up with the intended receiver, Jalen Virgil.
Well defended that time, Brad. A-State trying to, Appalachian State trying to run a post from the left side coming across to the right, but there was a safety over top and a corner underneath. Good defense by the secondary there for Arkansas State.
DeTravion Green was there with Virgil and brings up 2nd and 10. Here's Noel up to the 40-yard line, a gain of 4. It'll be 3rd down and 6 as John Mincy made the stop.
Now, Mincy is doing an excellent job of shedding and getting across the offensive man's face, the blocker, and getting penetration to hold that to a 1-yard gain.
They actually did mark that back at the 38.
Yeah.
So instead of being 3rd and 6, it will be 3rd and 8. As Bryce, with time, has his pass picked off by Jarius Romanick. Jumped the route and got an interception, and the Red Wolves are going to be set up in Mountaineer territory.
Great play by Romanick that time. Bryce is looking to throw the slant to his left. Romanick is back in a safety position and rolls down, reading Bryce all the way, and it's a shame that he tripped, or else that would have been a house call. He would have taken that one all the way for a touchdown, but great field position for A-State to get a chance to get another touchdown, tie this game up.
It's the 8th interception of the year for the Red Wolves. As you see, they only had 6 as a defense all of last year in 11 games. 3rd straight game the Red Wolves have had a pick, and all of a sudden, here's Lane Hatcher and the offense trying to potentially tie the game up as they start things out on the App State 33-yard line. So the momentum is completely swung in this game after the pick 6 by the Mountaineers. Hatcher dancing around, didn't want to run, and now he will just throw it out of bounds in the area of Corey Rucker. Hatcher kept that play alive. May have had a couple of yards on the ground if he wanted it, but instead was trying to make a play with a receiver.
It looked like he was going to step up in the pocket to the left to avoid the pressure and run the ball, but then he slid to the right. Throws it out of bounds to avoid the sack, 2nd and 10.
Stevenson, who caught the touchdown, was in motion as the handoff this time goes to Johnny Lang across the 20, lowers the shoulder and the boom as he steps out of bounds near the 15, a gain of 18 for Lang, and Ronald Clark was there at the end of it and may have paid the price.
Great run, great finish by Lang that time. Appalachian State coming with pressure from the left side of the A-State line. Lang just runs it to the right and then lowers the boom, going out of bounds.
1st and 10 from the 15. A-State back in the red zone for the 2nd straight possession. Play action as Hatcher looking for Tevalence Hunt and had it go off his hands and incomplete.
Run pass option that time. Hatcher fakes the inside run, draws up the linebackers, tries to throw the slant to the right side, and the receiver just can't hold on. Missed opportunity right there. Good play call. Need to make that catch.
Drops have been something that have plagued A-State at times this year. In fact, dropped a couple of touchdowns last week at South Al. Now it's 2nd and 10. A jet sweep for Corey Rucker, and boy, that play is blown up by DeMarco Jackson, and we've said his name a lot here in this first half.
Yeah, we're not even at halftime yet. I mean, we can see why this guy was a preseason defensive player of the year in the league, and he is living up to his billing today, but he saw that one coming all the way, hit it downhill, lost yardage play here on 4th down.
Big time play by the senior out of Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Excuse me, third down.
And it will be third down and 15. Hatcher finds the receiver all alone, and that'll go for a touchdown as Lane Hatcher finds Ross Painter at the tight end spot for the score.
Painter lines up on the right side of the offense and just runs a seam route. The safety for App State goes to the field, goes to the left. Hatcher comes back to the right and finds him wide open. The safety fell down because he couldn't get over there. Excellent read by Lane Hatcher. Now there's execution right there. Way to finish the play.
On a 3rd and 15, Ross Painter came in. He's actually been sort of the 4th guy at tight end for Arkansas State this season. He hauls in the touchdown. The Blake Groupie extra point is good, and just like that, Arkansas State with back-to-back scores have pulled even. 14 all with just over 10 to go in the first half. Blake Groupie, couple of extra points today, has moved into the top spot in the career scoring mark for Arkansas State. As a matter of fact, Coach, he's now number 2 in Sun Belt Conference history in scoring behind his counterpart today.
Yes, we have the 2 highest scoring players in Sun Belt Conference history on the field today.
Chandler Staten now at 417 career points with his 2 extra points today. And Blake Groupie just took the Arkansas State lead, but here comes the Mountaineers. Here comes App State with a big kick return to get set up. Groupie now 327 points. He passed Brian Davis for the A-State lead and now trails only Chandler Staten in Sun Belt history in scoring.
Big return there for App State. Gets the ball out to the 40-yard line. App State so far is averaging 1.6 yards per rush today. That's a great credit to this A-State defensive front.
Great 40-yard return for Virgil. Sets up Bryce. And the Mountaineers at the 40. Now here's Cameron Peoples out in to A-State territory. That's going to be a gain of 15, and quickly back comes App State.
Going tempo now, getting lined up. Bryce will call the play from the line.
Throws it out in the flat. Catch made by Virgil.
Bryce is reading numbers there. The only defender out in the flat was the corner. The outside linebacker was inside, almost over the right tackle there, so that's an easy pitch and catch for Bryce and the receiver.
Malik Williams, 14 with the catch, as Bryce sort of rode the option there and pulled it back and picked up the first down.
Yeah, that's all part of this package. The zone read, where you read it inside, the end closed, he kept it outside. First down, App State.
So the Mountaineers in a hurry here on this possession, as Bryce will take a shot, and we're going to have a flag as Corey Sutton was being held, and Leon Jones was on the coverage, and he's going to pick up the pass interference call, I would imagine. We'll find out for sure.
Second and 10.
Oh, they didn't throw a flag. Okay.
Yeah. So good job by the referee there of not throwing one.
Yeah, that's come flying in, and I mean, even beyond thinking it was going to be one, I thought they literally threw it.
Split zone that time. The offensive line starts to the left for App State. They bring the tight end who's on the left back to the right. So you have the line going left, the tight end coming back right, and then you try to split it between the right guard and right tackle. Good run by App State there for a gain of 5.
I'd like to tell you I might have gotten fooled by one of those yellow receiving gloves a couple plays ago, but I don't know if that's it or not. Sutton's not wearing them. On the third down play, we We got bodies falling, trying to get out of the pile as Peoples is tackled by Vidal Scott. It's going to be 4th down at about 3 coming up for App State here.
Getting a little chippy in there right now. Chase Bryce, 4 of 9 today. 1 interception, no touchdowns.
They've already moved a 4th down once in this half, so they appear that maybe going to try it again, but also could have been going with a hard count. We'll see. They will run the play. This is Peoples plowing forward for the 1st down. Mountaineers 2 for 2 on 4th down here in the first half.
Yeah, they run behind the left side of that line as they get the left tackle, left guard. Double teaming up to the next level, finding the open space.
Bonner with the initial contact probably behind the chains, but
yes,
Peoples was not going to be stopped as the junior out of Lineville, Alabama, keeps the line moving and gets App State inside the red zone. Fresh set of downs at the A-State 18. Here's Noel bouncing out to the right. He's got room down the sideline, and he's going to coast in for the score.
Power formation by App State that time. Bryce had a back on either side of him, right, left, tailback in the pistol, and they just run the power to the outside. And what a nice run. Getting the ball bounced to the outside that time by Nate Noel. He started, his path was going like he wanted to run off tackle to the right, dipped inside, and then got around the corner.
So we talked about no panic out of App State, even after the back-to-back A-State touchdowns sandwiching the interception. Bryce comes right out and leads a 60-play scoring drive that was set up by the big return by Virgil. And just like that, App State back on top as we hit the 7-minute mark here in the first half. Just over 7 to go in the half. Nate Noel led the Sun Belt in runs of over 10 yards coming in. He's tacked onto that number, scoring from 18 yards out to put the Mountaineers back on top, Coach, and closing out an 8-play, 60-yard drive.
Yeah, that's a tough formation to defend when App State lines up in their tight formation with both backs in there leading the way. Noel has enough speed, start up, draw the defense in, and then bounce it outside like he did there for the touchdown.
It's already the 4th kick of the day for Alan Lamar to try to return. He dances around the crowd out across the 25. And A-State will set up for 1st and 10. Red Wolves have touchdowns in their last 2 possessions. They cashed in on the short field last time. They'll have to go 76 here if we're going to try to tie it up again.
The App State defense keeps mixing up their front between a 3-man front and a 4-man front. Right now there's 3 down linemen with an outside linebacker on the line. And they bring pressure from the field there to stop that inside zone play for a loss of 3.
Well, Demetrius Taylor didn't make the tackle, but he was the first guy there in the backfield to hit Johnny Lang, and he held up things long enough for the tackle for the loss, and it'll be 2nd down and 12.
App State will try and turn up the defensive pressure here in this series, try to get the ball back for their offense so that they can try to go down and score again before the half.
Hatcher looking for Corey Rucker. He was bracketed by a couple of App State defenders. That falls to the turf, and it'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, Corey's on the left side of the offensive formation, second receiver in. He's running a seam 2 yards inside the hash up the field. Lane tries to draw him to the middle of the field. But like you said, bracket coverage with a safety underneath and a safety outside linebacker underneath and a safety over top.
So Arkansas State 4 out of 7 in the first half on 3rd down, but this one will be 3rd and 12 from a dangerous spot. in their own territory. Hatcher. Pass is complete to Stevenson, but he's ridden down by DeMarco Jackson, making plays again, a couple of yards shy of the first down.
A-State trips to the left, 3 receivers wide. The outside guy and the second guy in, they run goes. The third guy runs an out, but Jackson is there stride for stride with the receiver and prevents him from turning upfield to get the first down, forcing an A-State punt. Jackson's been everywhere today.
He sure has.
Wow.
As Hanson will punt for the third time. Thomas Hannigan back at his own 25. Low snap. As Hannigan will haul it in and step out of bounds at about the 26-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt. And App State will come out and set up shop at the A-State 26-yard line, trying to build on a lead when we come back. Homecoming at Arkansas State today. The court announced prior to kickoff, and congratulations to Kane Wilson and Maddie Lamb, the 2021 A-State Homecoming King and Queen, alongside their Dr. Kelly Dampus, not just the Chancellor at A-State, but the president of the Sun Belt Conference. He's been busy during conference expansion. App State busy on offense coming out of the timeout as the pass goes to Hannigan out across the 35 to the 36, gain of 9, and John Mincy eventually made the stop.
Quick screen to the left side of the App State offense to Hennigan. Ball comes out very quickly from Bryce. Hennigan does a nice job of getting behind his blockers and finding the seam to gain 9 on that play.
Noel's in the backfield with Bryce on second and short. That 18-yard touchdown was his 24th run of 10-plus yards on the year. He came in leading the Sun Belt in rushing yards. Heading into today, he's hit at the line but spins forward and moves the chains.
Inside zone play that time for the first down, but gain of 3. And as he gets hit, he spins forward and gains an extra 2 yards there.
You're not going to get these Mountaineer running backs on the first contact one-on-one very often.
Noel and Peoples, they accelerate after contact, and they always find a way to be moving forward. They're gaining an extra 2-3 yards after initial contact.
Here's Noel again, this time to the right, and he is dropped by Jarius Romanek just across the 40-yard line. Big lick by Romanek, and it'll be second down and 8.
Romanek takes a great angle getting downhill on the outside zone play. And as he comes up, puts his shoulder right on the football and drops Peoples there. Or Noel, excuse me.
So Romanek already with an interception, and a big hit there is what looked like the snap. Almost got there before Bryce was ready for it, but he hauls it in and still turns it into a first down play.
Now they go inside zone to the left. They're looking to the sideline for the play call. They're trying to go some tempo here with only 3:25 left before the half.
So the game started with 14 straight App State points, including the score on defense. Red Wolves came back with 14 unanswered, but now Mountaineers got a score and a stop, and they're at midfield again with a fresh set of downs. Here's Peoples dancing around. Out across the 40, down to about the 38, and a late flag will come in.
And one of the App State offensive linemen, after Peoples was on the ground, launched himself into an Arkansas State defender. And that will be a penalty.
And you can see, I'm guessing there's your guilty party, huh?
After the play was over, personal foul, number 68 on the offense. 15-yard penalty. Before the foul occurred, there was a first down, so it'll be 1st and 10.
Isaiah Helms, the guilty party, he got a trip to the sideline, and he's still getting an earful.
Yeah, you know, oh my goodness. Yeah, on the replay, that was a launch for sure. But Sean Clark played in the offensive line for App State. He understands what it takes to be aggressive, but you don't want to hurt your team. And you saw Sean Clark show his displeasure with his guy right there.
So the result was still a first down. It just backs the ball up into App State territory at the 47. Bryce with the completion to Hannigan. He spins by a defender and picks up the first down. That'll be a gain of 13 for Thomas Hannigan, and a new set of downs for the Mountaineers.
Play action pass that time. Bryce fakes to the tailback like it's inside zone. The two outside receivers on the right. The inside receiver runs a go route. Hennigan's on the outside, runs a 12-yard stop, comes back to the football, and then after the catch, there's another spin move by the receiver to gain extra yards.
The 215th catch of Thomas Hannigan's outstanding career, first in App State history, third among active FBS receivers. Now on first down, here's Peoples tripped up by Sammy Johnson, and if not for that, he had some room to run.
He did. Chase Bryce, 6 of 11 on the day so far for the App State Mountaineers, as they are on this drive with 1:55 before the half, trying to get more points.
Both teams with all 3 timeouts. As there's a pass down the sideline. Malik Williams with room to run, finally shoved out of bounds, but not before he picks up another first down.
That's a run pass option there. The only Arkansas State defender out there is the corner up on the receiver. Everybody else is inside playing run. Bryce fakes the run, throws it out to the stack receiver. He takes it down the sideline for a big first down.
Pump fake by Bryce. Now he throws to Williams again. E.J. Alexander pushes him out of bounds at the 12, so it'll be a gain of 5.
That's called a read route. The receiver for App State's going upfield. If the safety is higher than he is or deeper than he is, he doesn't try to run by him. He sits down and rolls to the outside. He and Bryce are on the same page that time. Gain of 7. Nice read, nice throw.
Noel in the backfield behind Bryce. Drop the football, and Bryce just has to fall on it. Back at about the 18-yard line, so to be a loss of 6, 5, depending on where they spot it, and they'll put it right back at the original line of scrimmage.
Bryce initially caught the snap from the center, and as he was bringing it down to hand it off, he lost control of the football. So good decision to just fall on it there, because their field goal kicker is pretty good. Don't take 3 off the board. He's only 12 of 12 on the year on field goals.
They got down in this part of the field, went for it on 4th down last possession, paid off. Now on 3rd and 10, Bryce, little miscommunication again as he's tripped down after a very short gain, and they may have to call on Staten this time. It's 4th and long.
I believe Coach Clark's going to call a timeout here, and they're going to discuss it. As Coach Clark is walking down to talk to the official on the sideline there, they're going to let the play clock run down probably to about 3 before he calls the timeout.
You can see the difference
It's
in it.
unusual there now on Bryce for two snaps in a row not handling the football.
So Sean Clark will grab the timeout.
Timeout. Appalachian State, they're first. This will be a 30-second timeout.
And we'll see what he wants to do. It's going to be 4th down and almost 9. You do have, again, the leading scorer in the history of the Sun Belt. All he's done is had a perfect year to this point. 12 of 12 field goals for Chandler Staten. We'll see if.
And at this point in the game, App State's 2 of 2 on 4th down, but 4th and 9 with 8 seconds to go. This will be interesting. I think they're kicking the field goal.
Looks like 91 is jogging out. As you see the year he's had, 12 of 12 field goals, 32 of 32 now in extra points. And this one will be
timeout. Arkansas State.
After an Arkansas State timeout. So everybody had all their timeouts, and we'll see how many we're going to burn through here in the final couple of seconds, Coach.
Well, you can't take them with you, so it's better to use them, okay? There's no need to save them.
So Butch Jones takes his first time out, and he's got to be pleased with the response to his team after falling down 14-0.
Yes, sir, to come back tied up 14-all. Going to make some adjustments.
Likewise, Coach Clark has to be pleased with the way his team responded to getting tied up 14-all. They've gotten a touchdown, a stop, and now from about 33, Staten will try to add to the lead.
There's another one.
So here's the question. If you did it twice, why wouldn't you do it 3 times?
I don't think you're allowed. I think you can only take 2. Then it becomes a penalty.
Okay.
You can't take
There's your answer.
You can't take 3 consecutive.
So Staten's just hanging out.
Enjoying the sun.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful day here in Jonesboro.
Boy, it sure is.
This is a Chamber of Commerce day. Blue skies, sun, wow.
Butch Jones is saying, look, I know this guy had missed all year, but we got to try to ice him,
No
right?
question. Once upon a time only happens once.
So out of the hold of Clayton Howell. Try it again from 33. The kick is on the way, and it is good. Staten now 13 of 13 on the year, and with 3 seconds to go in the half, the Mountaineers push the lead up to 10.
And he increases his leading scorer in the Sun Belt Conference history
Yeah, so
by 3 points.
Got to put a little space between he and Blake Groupie, who took
Yeah.
over second place earlier in this first half. So quite a unique situation to see the top 2 scorers in conference history on the field at the same time.
I don't know if that's ever happened.
Yeah.
And not only in this conference, but in any conference. It's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, it really is. You're not going to have seen that very many times.
When Aaron Rodgers takes over as the true host of Jeopardy, now that he's gotten himself in trouble, this will be one of the questions on Jeopardy. I promise you.
So 10 straight for App State after being tied up. And Michael Hughes will get one more chance to kick it off. And I don't know if this will make it back to Allen Lamar. Yeah.
It'll probably be a squib kick to run.
It will get back to Lamar, but on the ground at about the 7-yard line. He'll get wrestled down at about the 22, and that's how the first half will come to a close. But an entertaining first half. Momentum swings all over the place, and in the end, the last 10 points of the half went to the Mountaineers, and they'll take a 10-point lead into the halftime locker room here in Jonesboro. Corey Keller is down on the field. She's joined there by A-State head coach Butch Jones. Corey, we'll send it to you.
Coach, you're only down by 10 going into the half. What is the plan going into the second half?
I think the big thing is managing critical downs. We haven't been able to get off the field on 3rd down or 4th down really consistently, and then the same thing on offense. We've had 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. We're doing a good job to get to that point, but now we got to convert that into first downs.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Back to you, Brad and Pete.
Thanks, Corey. App State, with the final 10 points of the half, leads it by 10 at the break in Jonesboro. Welcome back to Jonesboro. App State with a 24-14 lead at halftime over the Red Wolves. As this game, that first half featuring some momentum swings back and forth. Take a look at the first half numbers. Coach, what are some things that jump out at you?
Well, the rush yards obviously jumped up in the second quarter and got their running game going. And then passing yards, they've hit a couple big plays, but total yards 225 to 147. It was the difference in the second quarter, especially the last 2 drives, that gave Appalachian State those kind of numbers. 14 first downs for App State, 8 for Arkansas State. 3rd down. This is a big one. the A-State defense has done a good job of being 2 for 7 for Appalachian State. But the problem is Appalachian State's 2 for 2 on fourth down.
Yeah, you don't see that, but you put in 2 for 2 on fourth down.
Right.
On top of that to go along with the third down numbers. And
little trickeration here at first touchdown. They throw the bubble screen, and then Malik Williams throws to Hennigan, who's going down the sideline because the corner came up to play the run. Then Lane Hatcher on third down overthrows his receiver, running an in route, and the corner takes it to the end zone. 14-0 App State. Now Arkansas State comes back. They run a little pick play with a slant, and then the tight end on a seam, touchdown. And now the safety falls down. Hatcher finds safety receiver in the seam. And there, Noel bounces to the outside. He ends up getting it in the end zone. And then their Mr. Reliable kicker becomes 13 for 13 on field goals to end the half.
Staten does close the half. Mountaineers with a 10-point lead over A-State at halftime. Brad Bobo, Pete Cordelli welcoming you back to Jonesboro. And in some ways, Coach, Sean Clark's in his locker room saying, "I told you so." His message all week has been, this Arkansas State team is better than that 1-7 record would make you believe.
No doubt about it. Talking to Coach Clark, he said it. This game scares me. He said because Arkansas State has the ability to put it all together. He said, and when they do, it's going to be huge. I just want to make sure it's not on us this week. But there have been glimpses in this first half. Arkansas State has shown some real life on defense, offensively, obviously getting the ball in the end zone. So it's going to be important for the Arkansas State defense to get a stop in this first drive, and then the Arkansas State offense to respond. First drives of the second half are huge.
Let's take a look at a summary of the first half, how we got here. As you see, the trick play we talked about, defensive score, those were 53 seconds apart. Kind of thought A-State might be on its heels. To the Red Wolves' credit, they came back and got 14 of their own.
Yeah, 2 big penalties in that drive there allowed Arkansas State to move the ball down. And then a great play call by Keith Heckendorf, the offensive coordinator, where you get the pick play, the slant by the outside receiver, and then Stevenson, the tight end, rolling it up and getting it in the end zone. And then the interception by Romanique, who reads the quarterback eyes, gets it down. It's 14-all. But now we got to come back and see what happens here in the second half. To not give up the big play on defense is going to be huge.
We'll have that second half for you when we come back right after this.
I came across this house with water dripping from the ceiling.
Just about second half time here in Jonesboro, and App State coach will have the ball to start the third quarter. Big possession early for both teams here to try to grab the momentum early.
It is. It'll be interesting to see what adjustments were made for this Arkansas State defense to get more pressure on Chase Bryce. And if they can get a stop and get the ball back for the offense here in the third quarter.
And that kick will go into the end zone for a touchback, and that's how this third quarter will get underway with Chase Bryce leading his offense out to the 25-yard line.
You know, Bennett and JoJo they applied some pressure in that first half. It'll be interesting to see if Bennett can become a force here in the second half and disrupt this offense from his defensive end position.
Kevon Bennett actually batted a pass down, same possession that was capped off with a JoJo Azugu sack. And the defense did dial up a 3-and-out in the midst of trying to come back from 14 down. And the Mountaineers were bunched up on first down. And you had Coach Clark out talking with an official out on the field. There was something he wasn't liking. Now David Smith, the referee, has stepped in. And
you can request where you want the ball placed after the ball goes in the end zone. He did not want it on the right hash. And so he asked the official to move it to what they call the left middle. It's between the middle and the left hash.
They've got 10 players between the hashes on 1st and 10. Hand it to Noel, and he gets out across the 30, down to the 31. Excuse me, the 36. Pickup of 11 and a first down.
Pretty much callback. That's a called cutback right there. As Noel starts to the left and all the defense is flowing hard to stop it, he just plants that left foot in the ground, breaks it back right, gain of 11, first down.
25th run of 10 or more yards on the year for Nate Noel, adding to his Sun Belt lead in that category. He gets it again on first down and is going to be upended by E.J. Alexander.
There's that split zone again. The offensive line comes right. The tight end who's in the wing on the right comes back, kicks out on the left, and Noel finds the seam for a gain of 4.
See Alexander come diving in there from his safety spot to make the tackle and held Noel to a gain of 4, brings 2nd and 6. Now Peoples is behind Bryce, who's looking to throw. And Malik Williams, the intended receiver, and the pass, I think, hit a defender.
This is an RPO, and as Williams is breaking on the post, it looks like Ellery Alexander runs to the receiver. If he turns and looks inside, that's a pick.
Yeah.
It's an interception. Find the football, and that's a turnover for Arkansas State.
He did not. Instead, it's 3rd and 6. 2 for 7 in the first half. Were the Mountaineers on 3rd down. First crack since coming out of the locker room. Bryce chased out of the pocket, and he's going to have to throw it away. Caleb Bonner was coming up from his linebacker spot, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Bryce is down.
And he was
Caleb Bonner was spying Bryce. Bryce started to move out of the pocket to his left, and Bonner came through, and it was a legal hit. I mean, it was a great play by Bonner, but Bryce now, it looks like, is holding his leg.
Either had to reach back. He had that hand reach back toward his back early on. So the athletic training staff, the sports medicine team from App State out there along with head coach Sean Clark, and we'll step aside for a timeout here and come back with more right after this, just underway in the 3rd quarter here in Jonesboro.
It is now down to 2:37.
This week, a final. That was on Thursday night in Lafayette. Cajuns trailed for much of this game to Georgia State before eventually coming from behind and getting the win. And with that win, Billy Napier's team wraps up a spot in the Sun Belt title game. And App State in control of its own destiny to be the team that plays the Cajuns for the championship on December 4th. Chase Bryce did walk off the field, and Xavier Sabach out for his 2nd punt. His first was a 46-yarder. This one will be downed at about the 16-yard line. Punt of 44 yards. But, Coach, back to Chase Bryce momentarily. He did walk off on his own. We'll have to see what happens because Jacob Huseman, the typical backup for the Mountaineers, not with the team today.
No, he's not. In the backup behind Huseman is a young man by the name of Navy Schuler, who many fans may remember his dad. Heath Schuler played at Tennessee, was a first-round draft pick of the Washington Redskins. So Navy Schuler, a redshirt freshman, is the backup to Chase Bryce today at quarterback for Appalachian State.
So Arkansas State on offense for the first time here in the second half. Lincoln Perry spun down at about the 23-yard line. Again, actually, let's back that up 5. It's more about the 18-yard line, a gain of a couple. It'll be 2nd down at about 8.
Perry does a nice job after initial contact, falling forward to gain the 2 yards.
Lane Hatcher chased down from behind, and he's dropped by Nick Hampton. Hampton, the junior out of Anderson, South Carolina, comes in to make the play, and it's 3rd and long.
Yeah, there's pressure coming off the right edge that time, and forces Lane Hatcher to scramble to the left. And no gain on the play, but good play by the defensive end for Appalachian State. They're beating the right tackle for Arkansas State.
It does go down as a 1-yard sack officially for Hampton, his 5th of the year. Hatcher just has to get rid of it. Was wanting Corey Rucker deep, but he didn't have time to get that play set up, and A-State will go 3 and out on its first possession of the 3rd quarter.
6-man pressure by Appalachian State coming off the edge, forcing the throw for the incompletion so that he doesn't have to take the sack, and 3 and out for the A-State offense here.
Ryan Hansen punted 3 times in the first half for a 36-yard average, but he's got room to lay more foot into this one as he's punting from about his own 5-yard line. Hannigan lets it bounce, and it does. Takes an Arkansas State roll, and it's still going. Hannigan finally just jumps on it to keep from losing any more yardage. And boy, that's a good kick and a friendly roll for Ryan Hansen and A-State there.
It really was. Kind of flips the field a little bit, but Lane Hatcher was under some severe pressure there to even plant that back foot and get the ball going before he got hit. So see if the A-State defense can come up with another stop here. Their second series of the second half.
Some of the defensive leaders for this App State defense, and we called DeMarco Jackson's name a lot in that first half.
He is one super football player. Demetrius Taylor playing very well, and Nick Hampton at linebacker.
Hampton with the sack in that last possession. This is Cameron Peoples out across the 30 up to the 31. That'll be a gain of 3. By the way, back to the punt after the roll. It goes as a 55-yarder for Hansen.
That's excellent. This is just old-fashioned smash-mouth football right now by App State. They're just lining up, base blocking, and they got a lead blocker, almost like an I formation in the old days, and Peoples just following his blocker.
Miller Gibbs is in that lead blocking spot here out in front of Peoples, but A-State able to get there defensively and hold that to a very short gain.
Excellent job that time by the defensive line of Arkansas State, not getting moved off the ball, creating a stalemate, and it allowed the linebackers to get downhill and make that hit for no gain. Very good job by the defensive front.
So it'll be 3rd down and 6 for the Mountaineers. Ball on their own 32-yard line. As the crowd here at Centennial Bank Stadium trying to prod the defense on to get off the field here. That pass complete to Malik Williams. By the way, we should go back and mention the fact that very good to see that it is Chase Bryce back on the field offensively at the quarterback spot in this possession.
Malik Williams lining up as the slot receiver, second receiver in from the left side. Ball on the left hash. He runs an 8-yard curl for the first down.
Mountaineers in a hurry as they take a shot deep. Corey Sutton guarded step for step by Leon Jones. It'll be 2nd down.
That's what they call the seam fade. And the inside receiver, number 2, he runs up and then he starts bending to the sideline. But good coverage that time by Arkansas State.
There you see Sutton.
Transfer from Kansas State.
He came into today tied for 4th in Mountaineer history with his 22 touchdown catches. As the handoff goes to Peoples, and the first man there was Kevon Bennett. He held him up long enough to get some help, and it'll be 3rd and long.
Really impressed right now with this front 4 Arkansas State. I mean, they are doing a good job of controlling the line of scrimmage in the run game. So big 3rd down here, and as Coach Jones said, talking to Corey going into halftime, we've got to get a stop and get off the field on 3rd down for the Red Wolves.
A different look. 3 down linemen for A-State, and in the middle is T.W. Ayers.
Yep.
Red Wolves have been really, really thin at defensive tackle, and they've got Ayers playing there. As Bryce, what a catch by Thomas Hennigan. Oh, my goodness, out to the 39-yard line of A-State.
One-handed, left-handed, going out of bounds, has the presence to get the ball in with his fingertips and then tap his toe to stay in bounds. What a play by Hennigan.
That's a big-time player making a big-time play right there, and it moves the chains when the Mountaineers face 3rd and 9. Bryce on the keeper. He must be feeling good because he called his own number and picked up another first down.
Zone read. The offensive line for App State, they all step to their right. The defensive end for Arkansas State closes down to take the back. Bryce reads it. There's nobody there. He gets the ball upfield for a big gain. Just how you coach it up. Well run by Bryce.
And just like that, here are the Mountaineers in A-State territory with a 1st and 10. Down at the 33, gains of 13 and 11 on the last 2 plays from scrimmage after they faced a 3rd and 9. Bryce with time. Now has to pull it down, and he's going to be dropped by E.J. Alexander down near the 22-yard line. It'll be 2nd down.
Good coverage that time by the Arkansas State secondary. Bryce is a big guy now. He's 6'3", 235, and he runs pretty well. So he does a nice job of lowering that shoulder and getting on the ground and getting a couple extra yards after contact.
Here's Cameron Peoples bouncing outside. Tiptoes the sideline for a couple of extra yards before finally being called out of bounds at the 14, and that's where the Mountaineers will have it 1st and 10.
As Peoples starts to bounce outside, the linebackers can't get downhill fast enough to make the tackle at the line of scrimmage, allowing him to get upfield and get the 1st down.
Well, there was a flag on the play, but then it was picked up
and waved off, yes.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Mountaineers at the A-State 14-yard line as Bryce has led his team into the red zone. He's got Peoples in the backfield with him on 1st down. Chase Bryce looking end zone, too tall for Hennigan as the coverage was there by Kenneth Harris, and now we got a late flag well after the play.
Hennigan grabbed the face mask of the Arkansas State defender as they were jawing with each other, and the officials saw it. So this is going to go against Appalachian State.
If so, we'll wait and get this sorted out, but that'd be another
Bryce
unforced miscue there by App State.
Yeah, throwing that ball to Hennigan, trying to get it over the helmet of the A-State defender, and went incomplete. Hennigan thought he should get an interference call. There was some jawing.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 5 on the offense. 15-yard penalty. The down counts, 2nd down.
Yeah, if you stay with it a little longer.
That is number 5's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul.
Right there.
That'll probably do it most times, won't it?
Yes. What do they say? The second guy always gets caught.
So this backs it up 15 yards after the down counted. So they bring up 2nd down and 25. Here's Peoples cutting back inside with room to run, and a touchdown saving stop made there by Leon Jones, but Cameron Peoples got a bunch of those yards back there.
What vision, acceleration, and then a burst to get the ball upfield by Peoples. Starts to the right, nothing there, cuts it back left, and then gets up the field, and now puts him in manageable position here on 3rd down.
Picks up 23 on that run, or 19, excuse me, to make it a 3rd down and 6. And here's a little flip over to Miller Gibbs, who is into the end zone for a touchdown.
There is a flag here on the Arkansas State.
Offside on the defense, number 3. The penalty is declined.
So that'll be declined, and the touchdown pass to Miller Gibbs will stand. And
Gibbs is on the right side. He goes in motion across the formation to the left, but nobody goes with him. So it might be a busting coverage. He's wide open in the flat. Bryce reads it. It's an RPO. He reads it, doesn't hand it off to the running back, and finds his tight end wide open in the left flat for the touchdown.
Gibbs sort of picking up some extra snaps today with the absence of Henry Pearson, and he makes a count there, hauling in the touchdown from Chase Bryce, capping off a 12-play, 72-yard scoring drive. It took 5 minutes off the clock and gives First points of the second half belong to App State. Mountaineers just 2 for 7 on third down in the first half, Coach. 3 for 4 so far here in the third quarter.
Yeah, they found a way to maintain possession of the football, convert third downs, and get the ball into the end zone. But got to believe that there was a busting coverage on that last touchdown pass.
Michael Hughes set to kick it off as A-State will try to get something going on offense for the first time here in this third quarter. Went 3 and out on its last possession. Lamar out by the 1 yard line. Going to be dropped down by who else?
Number 52,
Yeah.
Mr. Jackson.
DeMarco Jackson in there on special teams. Drops the leading kickoff returner in the Sun Belt, and A-State will set up 1st and 10 at the 20.
When you can get your seniors playing the best football of their career, you have a chance to have a great season. And right now, Action Jackson is leading the league, man. I mean, this guy is everywhere. Defense, special teams, and he's making plays.
8 tackles. He's got a sack, 2 tackles for a loss. He's broken up a pass and forced a fumble. And here is Nick Hampton in for his second sack of the third quarter as he drops Hatcher back near the 13-yard line.
Yeah, Lane Hatcher's trying to step up in the pocket versus the pressure and can't get away from the long reach of the defensive lineman there for the sack.
It's a loss of 7, makes it 2nd and 17. A-State looking for some kind of play to get a little momentum going here in this third quarter. And it's not going to be there because Hatcher with the pump fake, and by the time he hauled it back down, he was getting dropped, as that's Tyler Bird from his linebacker spot making the play.
Going to be a run-pass option. As you can see, Lane comes off the fake. He's getting ready to throw the football but doesn't have time to set up and deliver it because of the pressure. And this is what this Appalachian State defense can do. They can turn it up in a hurry.
Back-to-back sacks makes it 3rd and 20. Here's a pass out to Johnny Lang. He's going to try to make a couple of people miss. And he's going to be brought down by T.D. Roof, and it'll be another 3 and out for the App State defense.
2 huge sacks there on 1st and 2nd down. The A-State offense going the wrong way on that series.
So again, Arkansas State scoring on back-to-back possessions after the Mountaineers got the first 14 points of the day. One of those was off a turnover. They converted that to a touchdown, but since then, 17 unanswered by the Mountaineers, and the defense has forced a couple of 3 and outs in this third quarter, and Hanson's punt is going to go out of bounds short of midfield, so App State will come out with some really good field position when we come back. This third quarter has belonged to the Mountaineers. They'll try to build the lead when we get back to Jonesboro right after this. Belt today. Mentioned the Cajun win on Thursday night. A couple other games underway, including the battle for the belt down in Troy, where South Al leads early. Texas State on top of ULM down in San Marcos. Coastal at Georgia Southern coming up in a little bit. And Bryce had that pass hit at the line of scrimmage as it falls incomplete. Coach, you just get the sense as this game unfolds, A-State's in a dangerous spot right here. You've done a lot of things well, but you're staring down the barrel of it getting away from you.
And right there on 1st down, play action pass by App State, but the ball gets tipped. It's one of those plays that if the A-State defense comes up with the interception, man, the momentum gets back to Arkansas State.
2nd down and 10 as they hand it to Noel. He dances around and gets up to the 45-yard line.
Bryce so far on the afternoon is 11 of 21, 129 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
Malik Straker makes the tackle. It's an interesting story. He made 6 tackles in the game at Washington, and most A-State fans had never heard of him.
Well, again, when you bring 52 new people in to start your season, there are guys coming in. They're trying to work their way onto the field here, let alone the roster.
On third down, here's Noel across a big hole and finally brought down at the 25-yard line. That's a pickup of 20 and a first down for Nate Noel and the Mountaineers.
Yeah, this Appalachian State offensive line is starting to create some holes for Noel and Peoples here in this third quarter.
Well, the Bulls, as we told you, that's what they call that offensive line. There's a flag is down. Pro Football Focus had them ranked the 7th best offensive line last season. They open up holes, they protect the quarterback, and we got a couple of flags down on this one.
Again, it's the quick hitch out to the left side.
Hold number 2 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, first down.
Arkansas State up in press coverage there, trying to do a good job of getting underneath the block, and the receiver for App State really pulls him back, tries to tackle him from behind. So good call by the official. The corners, when they've been up in press coverage today for Arkansas State, they've had some success getting their hands on these receivers, rerouting them, doing a good job of getting them off track.
It's the 5th penalty on App State for 70 yards as Bryce is going to take a shot. And that one is broken up as he was looking for Deshaun Davis in the end zone.
Bryce looks to the right side of the offense to his outside receiver, doesn't have him, then comes back throwing the seam route. Excellent play to knock that ball out in the end zone by the Arkansas State defensive back.
It was DeTravion Green with the coverage, and it brings up now a 2nd down and 20. As the holding penalty got App State behind the chains. Gibbs shifts to the backfield. As the handoff goes to Noel, he's going to be brought down by Malik Straker.
Split zone again. The offensive line for App State, they all go to the left. The tight end starts on the left, comes back, kicks out the end man on the line of scrimmage for Arkansas State on the right. And the running back starts left, cuts it back right. Nice game.
It's 3rd and 12, but a lot of ways App State could try to play this at this spot in the field. As a matter of fact, there you see they're going to put it on the ground in the hands of Cameron Peoples, who's down the sideline and into the end zone for a 27-yard score.
Appalachian State had 3 receivers to the wide side of the field. To the right side, A-State kind of moved that way, rotated their coverage, had some people. They cut it back left here, away from the defense, the slant of the defense, and Peoples gets into the end zone. Appalachian State now over 200 yards rushing on the day.
And all that guy does is score touchdowns, Cameron Peoples. He's 8th in the FBS with now 13 rushing touchdowns on the year. In his last 7+ games, he's gotten in the end zone 18 times. And he gets a score here, the extra point by Staten. As his perfect season continues, App State does have a player down after the extra point attempt, but there you see the scoring drive and a big smile, rightfully so, on the face of Cameron Peoples. And Helms, who we saw earlier pick up a penalty, he's actually the player that's down after the extra point, and he's got the sports medicine and athletic training teams out there with him. But Coach Cameron Peoples ran for 1,124 yards last year, including an NCAA bowl record, 317 yards, 5 touchdowns in their Myrtle Beach Bowl win.
He's 6'2", 220, and I promise you, as the game goes on, you don't want to tackle. He gets stronger running the football, and he is hard for that first tackler to bring down. Very physical.
So this game was tied up at 14 all at one point. And since then, the Mountaineers, that was the 10-18 mark of the second quarter. A-State tied it up at 14, and since then it's been all App State as Sean Clark's team has rattled off 24 unanswered.
Yeah, this is that's how explosive they are. And like we talked about at the Open and throughout the game, the experience has come through. These guys don't get rattled. They've been here before. They know what they have to do, and they stay with the plan.
It's looking at some of the stuff with this program is absolutely unbelievable. They've got 14 super seniors that took their COVID season that coming into today had combined to play in 552 games and make 362 starts. All those numbers, those will go up today. But this program, Coach, since they've come to FBS, has won over 80% of its games. I'll tell you who's won more. Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, Oklahoma, Georgia.
It's pretty good company, isn't it?
That's a good list to be on, isn't it?
Hey, look, number one goal in every game is to win. And they've done it at a high rate. So, and this is what, Arkansas State at one time did it at a high rate. And they're trying to get back to that.
Yeah, we mentioned in the Open, these two teams have combined for 9 Sun Belt titles. A-State, one of 2 programs that's won 5. Mountaineers have won 4 since coming into the league. And they're trying to stay in the hunt for number 5, as there's a big lick on the kickoff return, and special teams carrying that momentum App State's got built up right now.
All 3 phases of their game, they feed off each other. They're physical in all 3 phases. And right there you see it on kickoff coverage, but their defense has turned up the pressure. And then they have really turned it up in the offensive line, running the football here in the third quarter. So,
well, you see the look there. 3 straight 3-and-outs for A-State that have gone for a combined 0 yards. As Hatcher with time finds the receiver. That is Combs, who gets lit up. The ball came loose. Flag is down. We're probably going to see a targeting call here.
I believe so. Defenseless player there, and it looked like the defensive back lowered his head. And this is unfortunate. But he popped up, walking off the field. Hatcher getting a little pressure, had to slide to his left that time.
An incomplete pass. Personal foul, targeting number 7 on the defense. The previous play is under further review.
Combs is a redshirt junior, transfer out of Iowa, his home state. As you get a look there. The interesting thing is they called the pass incomplete.
Yeah, the defensive back, and they called it on 7 when it's really 0.
Yeah, it's 7 who picked up the loose football.
It's Tucker who delivered the hit for App State, but he drops his shoulder and his head at the same time. So I believe this targeting is going to stand.
So we will await the word of David Smith, our official, but kind of go back to some of this stuff we're talking about with App State. The way they've won at such a high clip. They're trying to get their 7th win of the year today. If they can get to 9 again this season, it'd be their 7th straight 9-win campaign. Only other teams that have done that, Alabama, Clemson, Oklahoma. The list gets even shorter.
Yes.
Say all that to say what they've done there since coming to the FBS level, and it is a model of consistency.
But I can remember when they were back when they called it 1AA, just like Arkansas State was. When Coach Lacewell was here, playing for championships. And App State was in that same category. So these teams are familiar with each other. They've had a history. And it's going to be fun to watch the growth of both programs.
After further review, there was a correction on the number. It was number 0. That personal foul of targeting has been confirmed. Number 0 is disqualified from the remainder of the game. 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
He dropped his shoulder and his head.
So Milan Tucker's afternoon is done as you get one more look at the call that was confirmed. And, yeah, that's the move right there that got the call. So Milan Tucker will be out for the rest of this one, and then looking ahead the first half of the matchup against South Alabama back in Boone next weekend.
Well, let's see if Arkansas State comes after the new corner, who I believe is going to be Stephen Jones. Number 6 is
Jones is
in for Tucker, I believe.
On the right side of the defensive formation. As the pass is complete to Corey Rucker. Rucker could not wrestle loose, so the grasp of Caden Smith, who kept that from being a bigger gain, but the Red Wolves moved the chains.
Yeah, run pass option that right there, RPO. Slant to Rucker coming from the inside of the left, on the left side of the A-State offense, running the slant. Hatcher puts the ball on him, first down, A-State.
Rucker's second catch of the day, but the first went for a 5-yard loss. Now he goes in motion on first down. The handoff is to Lincoln Perry, and what a job there by Trey Cobb fighting off a block and making the tackle.
These inside linebackers for App State, they play downhill in a hurry. I mean, they get to the offensive line of scrimmage, staying square and knocking the ball carrier back. That was a big hit.
So a loss of 1 makes it 2nd and 11 for A-State. Inside 2 minutes to go, third quarter. App State's outscored the Red Wolves 14-0 here in the third. Stevenson shifts to the left as Hatcher now gave it to DeValence Hunt coming across the field. He's up across the 40, 35, steps out of bounds at the 34. That'll be a pickup of 14 and a first down to DeValence Hunt.
Nice job by Hunt of getting across the defender's face and turning upfield to gain the extra 2 yards to get the first down. Showed a little speed there.
Another first down for Arkansas State. Here comes Jeff Foreman across the formation as Hatcher will swing it out that direction. Foreman will step out of bounds at the 25-yard line. That's a gain of 9, and it'll make it 2nd and 1.
Foreman was lined up on the left side of the offensive formation, went all the way across the field in motion, and no one from App State bumped with him. Easy read for Lane Hatcher. Pickup of 9.
Here's a completion out to Combs. He'll pick up the first down. Good to see Jack Combs back out there after being the victim of the targeting penalty a few plays ago.
And Hatcher 17 of 28 now throwing the football. He's got a little rhythm going on this drive.
1st and 10 Red Wolves at the 14. Here's Lincoln Perry right up the gut. Gets across the 10 down near the 9. Picks up maybe 5. It'll be 2nd down.
Got a little pushing and shoving going on down there. I'm telling you, this game's chippy.
Ross Painter, who made his first catch of the year earlier. It was a touchdown. He checks in here for the 2nd down play, but it may end up being the first play of the 4th quarter as the final seconds tick away here in the 3rd. So the Mountaineers.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter.
Get the momentum and keep it in this 3rd quarter. They add on to their 10-point halftime lead, and Butch Jones's team in a deep hole as we head to the final 15 minutes, which we'll have for you right after this here in Jonesboro. App State outgains Arkansas State 160-43 in the 3rd quarter. Outscored the Red Wolves 14-0 in the frame. As you get a look at the conference standings heading into the day, Arkansas State, the last team trying to get into the win column. As you see in the West, the Cajuns have already clinched a spot in the title game. Even though App State's in that tie right now, the Mountaineers already have head-to-head wins over Coastal Carolina and Georgia State. So they're in control of the East race, trying to keep it here today as the start of the 4th quarter is going to be a bad one for Arkansas State because the snap got away from Hatcher, and then he may have compounded it by trying to pick it up instead of falling on it, but eventually Arkansas State keeps possession, and that wasn't Hatcher. That was Wyatt Beagle, the true freshman quarterback on the field for the first time, and the snap went wide of Beagle.
At the end of the 3rd quarter, there was a little bit of a pushing and shoving match between some Arkansas State players, App State players. Officials had to separate them, so Jacob Still had to get separated there and need to get better with this snap.
So Hatcher's back out there after the miscue there. It's 3rd and 28. Lane looking deep, and that ball's up for grabs, and it's going to be picked off by Stephen Jones Jr., his 2nd interception of the day, and the Mountaineers will take over on offense.
Ball's underthrown inside, and the receiver really never came back and turned into a DB, tried to strip that ball out. I mean, Jones just went up, caught it at its highest point, and comes down with it on the 3. So is it like a punt? Maybe, but if you throw something a little shorter and you get it in Groupie's target range, you have a chance to kick the field goal and get some points.
Team best 4th pick of the year for Jones. Lane Hatcher now has 5 interceptions in the last 2 games. App State will take over 1st and 10 at the at its own 3-yard line. Chase Bryce with the handoff as they're looking for some room to operate.
I think this drive will be mostly runs. They will try, since they've controlled the game on the scoreboard, now they want to come back and control it on the ground, run the clock, and obviously if they can get 97 yards and get more points, that's what they're shooting for here.
So they're going to put this 4th quarter in the hands of that running game and that ultra-talented, ultra-experienced offensive line. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Noel.
They're not doing anything fancy. They're just running between the center and guards the last 2 plays. It's just straight ahead. Here we come. See if he can stop us.
Noel moves the chains as making the tackle for Arkansas State was Charles Willikis. So A-State has to drive Butch Jones crazy because it's the first time Wyatt Beagle had been on the field.
Yes.
And they were going to try something with the young guy, and the snap goes wide right and ends up blowing up the possession. Here's Noel again. He stopped in the backfield. Mincy with the tackle for a loss there, and it'll be 2nd down. They may say he got back to the line of scrimmage. But now Mincy's slow to get up.
He's been a bright spot in that Arkansas State defensive line today. He's really made some plays, been disruptive in there.
Mincy, a Tennessee transfer, 6'4", 290, and while he's down, we'll step aside for a timeout. A couple of minutes gone by in the 4th quarter with the Mountaineers closing in on win number 7. Nate Noel, you see the season numbers, and today he's got a 2nd straight 100-yard rushing game. His 4th of the season. He came in leading the Sun Belt at 95.9 yards per game. He's over that, and he's looking to add to it as we get back to play 2nd and 10.
Excellent coverage. Nice catch.
Yeah, Sammy Johnson was all over Corey Sutton there.
All over him. Yeah, trying to rip the ball out there. Good throw by Bryce. This is one of the most balanced offenses I've seen in a while, this Appalachian State offense.
Here's Noel.
First now.
Broke the first tackle and gets up to the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 and moves the chains. So where the Mountaineers had struggled in that category, 2 of 7 in the first half. After that, they're now 8 out of 15, so 6 of 8 now in the second half on 3rd down.
Yeah. And again, they're taking all the time in the world right now. They have over 400 total yards of offense so far in this game with 11:20 left.
Here's Noel again, breaking a tackle. Eventually brought down by Dontravion Green.
He makes it hard for the first tackler to get a clean hit. I mean, he's turning, he's sliding, getting upfield. Excellent vision, quick feet.
Go back a couple of games ago, the Red Wolves kicked a field goal to get within one of the Raging Cajuns with 10 minutes and 26 seconds to go. Kicked the ball off and never got it back.
Yes.
Billy Napier's team ran out the final 10.5 minutes on a 20-play drive, all runs, and killed the rest of the clock.
Obviously, Bryce changing the play there, looking to the sideline. Play clock down to 3 before they snap it.
This time it's Cameron Peoples. He, like Noel, has gotten into the end zone today, and he moves the chains with a first down run.
These two backs really complement each other as well. I mean, the big, powerful Peoples at 6'2", 220. And then you got Nate Noel at 5'10", 180. Makes the defense really have to prepare for a strong physical runner and then a quick, elusive guy that can run it inside the tackles or bounce it outside.
25 first downs on the day for the Mountaineers as Bryce throws that pass complete out to Eli Wilson, the tight end. Leon Jones made the tackle and then was a little slow getting up.
Peoples has 116 yards rushing today, 1 touchdown. So both backs having big days right now for Appalachian State.
Yeah, that 1-2 punch, both over the 100-yard mark, both into the end zone. And we're actually going to see Anderson Castle in the backfield at the running back spot on this down, but instead the pass goes out to Jalen Virgil, who moves the chains again.
It's a quick hitch to the outside with a lead blocker right there. Receiver does a nice job of kicking through the arm tackle of the defender to get the first down with some extra effort.
Another first down, this one in A-State territory at the 46. Bryce will take a shot here, and it is going to be broken up. And we have a flag down, I believe so.
I don't know why the flag would be thrown, because as a defensive back, that ball's underthrown. Receiver slows down as I turn to
pass
play the ball.
Pass interference on the defense, number 3, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Well, how many times, though, do you see the defender come up on the short end of an underthrown pass?
It happened before he got to the foot. He grabbed his jersey. Yeah, it was before he tipped the ball away. My mistake. I'm staying corrected. Good call. Good call.
Here's Castle getting the handoff now, and he's not going to go down. The football came out as the whistle blew, and the Red Wolves wanted to be off to the races with it, but the officials say that his forward progress had been stopped.
I wish this was a reviewable play, because the running back was not down when the ball came out. I mean, he loses the football while he's still upright.
Arkansas State misses out there with the fact that the whistle had blown, stopping his progress. So App State keeps possession as here's a pass again to Eli Wilson, his second catch on the drive, and it's another first down.
App State's giving the Arkansas State defense a little trouble with this play because no one is going with the tight end as he moves to the flat. And it's just an easy throw and catch for Bryce to his tight end right now. You have to have a defender run with that tight end to get outside, or they'll just keep throwing it all day.
12th play of the drive coming up as the Mountaineers methodically chewing up the field and the clock here. They're in the red zone at the 14. Castle again. Initially hit by T.W. Ayers, Sammy Johnson comes in to finish it off.
Again, App State attacking the A-gaps between the guards and the centers there, straight ahead, nothing fancy. They're just running the dive play and letting the guards and tackles come off and block first level to second level.
No fancier than it has to be.
No.
2nd down and 6. Bryce this time.
There you go.
Ends up slipping and going down himself after deciding that was the better option, and I tend to agree with him.
Outside linebacker there. Slides. Safety goes to the tight end, and the outside linebacker kind of keeps the quarterback inside. Nice adjustment by the A-State defense. That's how you take it away.
So a loss of 1 brings up 3rd and 7. Clock rolling as it has been for a while now. Mountaineers 8 of 14 on the day here, or on 3rd down, plus 2 of 2 on 4th down. Castle takes the crowd with him near the 1st down marker, but initially looks to be just short. Jaden Harris grabbed on and hung on.
It's going to be 4th and half a yard, it looks like. But, again, split zone. Appalachian State's offensive line all step to the left. Tight ends on the left, comes across right, kicks out the end man on the line of scrimmage for Arkansas State. And the running back just follows his blockers and bends it back upfield.
Sean Clark may run this one down and grab another timeout here.
I think so.
As he'll decide what he wants to do, but he has done exactly what he wanted to do on this drive, and that is shorten this 4th quarter by a lot.
And he gave his starting running backs a little breather by putting Castle in.
Timeout. Appalachian State.
First timeout
they're first.
Taken here in the 2nd half. We'll take it with them. Just over 5 to go. Mountaineers knocking on the door, trying to add to a 24-point advantage. See what's left for Sean Clark's team. Going back home to Boone next week to take on South Alabama. Then they'll go to Troy and close it out. Oh, with a little affair with Georgia Southern at home, which always excites both those fan bases. They will go to Chandler State in here to try to hit from 22. He's hit from everywhere else this year, so why not tack that one on? His 2nd field goal of the day, 14 of 14 on the year. And the Mountaineers cap the 15-play drive that took over 8 minutes with a field goal, and now they lead it 41-14 with just over 5 minutes to go. A-State goes on the road for the next couple. They'll be in Monroe next Saturday. That's a 4 o'clock kick. They'll go to Atlanta 2 weeks from today, and then Thanksgiving weekend back here for the final day of the season as Texas State comes to town. But again, 15-play, 92-yard, 8-minute drive capped off by the field goal. Exactly what Sean Clark and the Mountaineers set out to do there, Coach.
Yes, it was. And get 3 points now. Let's see who comes out at quarterback for Arkansas State in this drive.
We will see that. It'll be interesting to look at that. Lamar gets out to the 26 on the kickoff return. We saw Wyatt Beagle for one play. I see Lane Hatcher standing in the huddle, so looks like he will continue to play. We did wonder, we were talking during the break, whether or not we might see Wyatt Beagle out here for these final 5 minutes, but Lane Hatcher back leading the offense out 1st and 10 from the 26.
See if Arkansas State can take this ball down and put points on the board here, get a touchdown.
Rucker goes in motion as the handoff goes to Lincoln Perry. He'll be knocked down out at the 27-yard line. Gain of maybe 1 will bring up 2nd down.
Inside zone play to the left. Appalachian State brought pressure off the edge that time. They ran down Lincoln Perry from behind to hold that to a 1-yard gain.
2nd and 9 for A-State as we go inside 5 minutes. Perry again brought down by the ankles. As in there to make the play defensively was DeAndre Dingle Prince from his defensive line spot.
Tell you what, Prince got off the ball quickly that time. Got penetration and held that to no gain.
His 11th tackle of the season is a no gain, and A-State looking at 3rd and 9. Hatcher takes the snap. Pass is picked off by who else? Stephen Jones Jr., his third pick of the day, his second touchdown. What a day for Jones.
Lane Hatcher stared down the receiver all the way. Jones had his eyes in the backfield watching Hatcher and got a great break on the football. But as soon as Hatcher caught the snap, he looked out to the right flat and again stared down the receiver. Jones, what a great break. Second interception return for a touchdown today.
His third interception overall on the day, his fifth of the year, his fourth in the last two games, his third touchdown the last two games. This one a 34-yard pick six to go along with the 47-yarder he had in the first half. And
Lane Hatcher has now thrown 6 interceptions in the last 2 games. So, you know, at some point, quarterbacks you got to protect the football.
So a day to remember for Stephen Jones. He's in the end zone twice, and the Mountaineers add on to that lead. North Carolina. As you get a look at what's coming up Tuesday, all these games available on ESPN platforms from First National Bank Arena. Women's basketball season opener at 11, A-State, Little Rock volleyball, and then the A-State men against Harding coming up all Tuesday night here in Jonesboro. Another chance for Alan Lamar. Lamar with his best return of the day as he's out near the 40-yard line, and we got a flag in at the end of the play.
Lamar started up the right side of the field between the numbers and the hash, broke it left. Big return.
And while we wait to sort out the flag, I'll tell you that Wyatt Beagle is in the offensive huddle for Arkansas State. So it'll be exciting for A-State fans to get their first look at the true freshman quarterback.
During the return, holding on the receiving team, 10 yards from the spot of the foul, first down.
4-year starter in high school in the state of Texas at Steele High School. Was a early enrollee, so he was here for spring football. As you see the Lamar return, it'll come back 10 after the hold. Here is Wyatt Beagle, 5'11", 204 pounds into the lineup. We saw him for one play that went awry, but really that wasn't much of his doing.
Inside zone play to the left that time. Go with a safe play to start off. Let's see if Wyatt will throw the football here on second down.
Josh Edwards, freshman out of Atlanta, got the handoff, stopped at the line of scrimmage, makes it 2nd and 10. First time we've called his name this season. Now Beagle pulled that one back, and he's going to be greeted by Tyler Bird, who made the stop, and that's a tackle for a loss.
Yeah, the zone read. That time the defensive end for Appalachian State stayed wide with the running back. Beagle kept the ball, but the linebacker was right there for a tackle for loss.
Clock rolling inside 3 minutes as Butch Jones's team staring down the barrel of an 8th straight loss after the season opening win to UCA here in Jonesboro. Reagan Ely, one of the receivers, out to the left of Beagle on 3rd down and 12. Beagle will keep it on the ground. He's out across the 30. Has the first down. Bounces off another tackler. He's out across the 40 to the 41. A gain of 23 and a first down for Wyatt Beagle.
Quarterback ISO. He has the running back being the lead blocker for him. Left guard, left tackle, fan out, block 1 and 2 on the line. And Beagle gets the ball upfield, shows some speed and toughness.
Butch Jones was asked about Beagle earlier this week. He said they wanted to get him on the field some of these final 4 games because they liked what he could do with the ball in his hands, and that's just what the head coach was talking about on that last play.
That snap was a little wide to his right that time. He almost mishandled that one.
Josh Edwards able to take the handoff, picked up a yard. So we go inside 2 minutes. It'll be 2nd and 9 A-State from the 42.
Eagles got some quickness there.
Second down and 9 for Beagle in the A-State offense. As he gets wrestled to the ground there by Kevon Hagler for a loss, and it'll be third down and real long.
Hagler came through, took the guard with him as he got to the quarterback. I mean, he tackled both the guard and the quarterback. Do you get 2 tackles for that?
Lobby for it.
Wow, he should. After those coaches watch that film tomorrow.
So another tackle for a loss. It's third down and 14 as we head into the final minute of this one. A-State will see a 10-game homecoming win streak snap. And App State will improve to 3-0 all-time in Jonesboro. As Beagle puts it on the ground again. Gets to the 45, knocked out of bounds at the 47, out now by the 48, a gain of 11. It'll be fourth down and 3 for the Red Wolves. And that stopped the clock.
App State goes along a stunt. They bring the left defensive end inside, try to get the tackle outside, and Beagle sees it, breaks contain, and shows a burst of speed down the right side of the field. See if he can get the first down here.
So they will go for it on fourth down as Beagle keeps it, lowers his shoulder out across midfield, and looks like he's going to be marked just shy of the line he needed. And now we got all the way out on the A-State sideline. We had a couple players tied up. That was Hagler and Ivory Scott. They were close to 7 yards off the field in the A-State sideline doing some pushing and shoving.
Careful over there. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, that was a
wow,
wrong part of town for Hagler.
That was so far away from the point of attack. It was crazy.
Ruling on the field was the runner was short of the line to gain. First down, Appalachian State.
So they stop Beagle just short, and the Mountaineers can come out and kneel on it one time and head back to Boone with a win. And just as Sean Clark was talking about Arkansas State being better than that 1-7 record, people that only see this score come across won't get how competitive most of that first half was.
Exactly. There were some really good things that Arkansas State did in the first half. But then in the third quarter, Appalachian State just turned it up. And like we said, experience. They've been there before, and they got it done.
It's what you'd expect a team as experienced as Sean Clark's to do as he moves to 17-5. As the head coach at App State, he is headed out to meet Butch Jones. The Mountaineers now 7-2 overall. They go to 4-1 in league play and stay in control of the race in the East. Arkansas State again drops its 8th straight, longest losing streak since the 2000 season continues for A-State. Again, this one was tied up at 14 after the Mountaineers scored the first 14, but then look at that second half, 24-0 after halftime. This one belonged to the Mountaineers, Coach.
Yeah, again, some really good things from Arkansas State after they got down 14-0. They responded, but Appalachian State turned it up in the third quarter and dominated the second half. And what a day for Stephen Jones III. 2 interceptions returned for touchdowns, but you can see how this Appalachian State program is making progress.
Stephen Jones did find the end zone twice as he picked off 3 passes overall. App State comes in and holds the Red Wolves to 193 yards of total offense. Jones a big star defensively as the Mountaineers keep their pursuit of the Sun Belt title game alive. For Pete Gortelli and our great crew in Jonesboro, I'm Brad Bobo saying so long and remind you again the score on this one is App State 48 and A-State 14. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and are archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.